Thanksgiving was just days away. In most homes, ovens were warming, coffee was brewing, and sleepy children were waking to cartoons and cereal. But inside one house on Ben Hill Road, a nightmare was unfolding. A 911 call came in that morning. A man said he'd just returned home to find his wife shot, lying still in their bed. Their toddler son, AJ, crying beside her. She wasn't moving. She wasn't breathing. She was gone. Tiffany Pugh was just 30 years old, a mother of two, a respected Delta Airlines professional. Now, the victim of a cold, calculated execution. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle, nothing stolen, just one shot, and a baby boy left alone beside his mother's body. Police began asking questions. The husband, Andre Pugh, said he'd been away, DJing at a club, staying at a hotel. He came home and found her like that. But within 48 hours, detectives would uncover a story far darker than a robbery gone wrong. A betrayal so intimate, so deliberate, it shocked the entire city. This wasn't random. It wasn't spontaneous. It was a hit. Planned, paid for, and executed by someone she knew. This is the story of Tiffany Jackson Pugh and the murder-for-hire plot that shattered her family, exposed a twisted deception, and stole a mother from her children forever. Tiffany Jackson Pugh was the kind of woman people remembered. Calm, grounded, brilliant, warm. Born and raised in Georgia, she was raised to value faith, family, and hard work. She studied logistics at Clark Atlanta University and joined Delta Airlines shortly after graduation. There, she rose through the ranks, becoming known as a problem solver, professional, reliable, and quietly tenacious. She was also a mother of two. Her daughter was growing up fast, and her youngest, AJ, had just turned 2. Tiffany doted on her children. They were her world. And for a time, she thought she had the right man beside her to build that world. Andre Pugh. Known on the Atlanta nightlife circuit as DJ Awesome, loud, charismatic, and magnetic, Andre brought energy into every room. Tiffany brought stability. He brought flash. They were opposites in many ways, but for a while, it worked. Until it didn't. By 2013, Tiffany was working full-time, caring for their children, and holding the home together. Andre, meanwhile, was spending more nights away. More DJ gigs, more women, more secrets. Tiffany knew. She didn't shout. She didn't confront in public, but she documented. She planned. She spoke to a divorce attorney. She confided in friends that she was preparing to leave. She was done with the lies, the disrespect, the emotional distance. She wanted peace and a safe, stable future for her kids. But while she was quietly planning a new life, someone else was planning her death. Andre Pugh wasn't ready to lose. He wasn't just losing a wife. He was losing his brand, his image, his access, his power. Divorce would mean court, custody, child support. And to a man like Andre, that wasn't acceptable. So he called someone, Adrian Harley, Andre's longtime best friend. Mild-mannered, quiet, loyal, no criminal record, no known enemies. Just someone who, for reasons still unclear, was willing to do the unthinkable. Phone records show Andre and Harley were in constant contact in the weeks leading up to Tiffany's death. Late-night calls, early morning check-ins, short, cryptic messages. According to prosecutors, these were the planning sessions. Andre was setting up his alibi, checking into a hotel, making sure he was seen. And Harley was preparing to carry out the hit. Andre promised him $10,000. The door would be unlocked. Tiffany would be asleep. One shot. In and out. On the night of November 22nd, Andre performed at a club. He checked into a hotel. Meanwhile, Adrian Harley circled the neighborhood in his black sedan. Security cameras caught him driving slowly, parking, waiting. At around 3:45 a.m., he entered the home, walked upstairs, and shot Tiffany in the head while she slept. Her son was in the bed beside her. Then he walked out. By the time the sun rose, Tiffany was dead, and Andre was already back home, pretending to be shocked. Detectives quickly spotted inconsistencies. No forced entry, no signs of a robbery. Andre's story felt too perfect. And the hotel alibi? Too convenient. When they pulled Andre's phone records, Harley's name came up again and again. They traced his car through surveillance footage. They triangulated his cell phone using tower data. It pinged just blocks from the Pugh home at 4 a.m. It was enough for a warrant. Adrian Harley was arrested and brought in for questioning. At first, he denied everything. Then they showed him the footage, the call logs, the timestamps, and Harley broke. He confessed to the entire plan. Andre had promised him money, told him how to enter the house, told him what time to do it, told him Tiffany would be sleeping. Harley admitted he walked in, saw Tiffany and the child, hesitated for a moment, then fired one silenced shot. Andre Pugh was arrested 2 days later. He denied everything, said Harley was framing him, but the digital trail and Harley's own confession told a different story. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was premeditated murder. In 2018, Andre Pugh stood trial for the murder of his wife. The courtroom was packed. Tiffany's family, friends, Delta co-workers, all came to see justice. Prosecutors laid out the timeline, the calls, the surveillance, the alibi, the motive. They played Harley's confession, showed the jury how the plan had been built over weeks, how Andre stood to gain financially, how he wanted to solve his marriage problem with a bullet. Andre showed no emotion during most of the trial. His defense team argued that Harley acted alone, but the evidence was too strong. After just 5 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict. Guilty. Andre was sentenced to life without parole. 4 years later, Adrian Harley was convicted and sentenced to the same. 2 lives behind bars, 1 mother buried, and 2 children left without either parent. Delta Airlines created a scholarship in Tiffany's name. Her family keeps her memory alive through community events and advocacy. And each year, on the anniversary of her death, people gather to light candles and remember a woman whose light was extinguished far too soon. Tiffany Pugh lived with strength, loved without condition, and died because someone she trusted valued control more than her life. Tiffany should still be here. She should be raising her children, working her dream job, living the life she built with sweat, sacrifice, and love. Instead, her story is a warning that danger isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it sleeps in the bed beside you. If you or someone you know is living in fear, take it seriously. Tell someone. Make a plan. Don't wait. Because Tiffany did everything right. And it still wasn't enough. But by telling her story, we honor her strength. We shine light into the dark. And we make sure her name, Tiffany Jackson Pugh, is never forgotten. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out more true crime documentaries on our channel. Thanks for watching.